Pero. I grew up in Groton, Massachusetts. I live in Nashua, New Hampshire right now. I just turned 30 years old. And what do? For money, I dance naked. No, I am a server, a waiter, whatever politically correct term is for it now. And I'm an on and off student at UMass Lowell, English major and history minor. And I play music all the time, and sort of have a band called All the Tired Horses that is, we still have it, but it's not, we actually never played out. We played once, sort of, like, one, like, contingency, or not contingency, I don't know, small complement of the members. Alright, so tonight, I'm playing the first show. I'm getting paid $50 to play for like 45 minutes. And it's the first time I've played out in like a while, all summer. It's September now. It's September like 17th today, 2004. And I probably haven't played out since April, so it's been a busy summer. I went to California for a couple weeks, and I don't know, I moved twice basically, because I moved out of one apartment, moved back home, and then moved into this apartment. So this is just an avalanche of excuses as to why I haven't played out. But basically, this is the first show in a long time, and I'm very rusty. So we'll see how it goes. I don't remember most of the lyrics. I don't remember half of the chords, and it's just me, like, playing. Like, nobody can play the mistakes on. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds fine to me. I'm not very particular, so.
All right.
Cool. I guess someone comes, I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry to disappoint you guys. So who's coming?
She got silly, so get your mama. I've been silly, here comes your papa. The moon ain't shining, let's go riding tonight. The tank is full, baby, let's beat it tonight. So sneak out, Sally, oh, come to mama. I've been silly, here comes your papa. Skin your shirts too tight, makes you sweat the shit. Yeah, I don't know much, but I think you're looking just right.
Who are my influences? Musically? I don't know. I mean, like, I know like everything you listen to, they say, like, you filter through your music or whatever, but like bands that, like, my top 10 would be like Bob Dylan, Bruce Springsteen, Led Zeppelin, Ryan Adams, who you can hear in the background maybe right now, unless it's been legally filtered out. But I don't know, just like sort of roots bands, I guess, or like either like classic rock or more roots bands, or like singer-songwriter type bands, or like alt country, I guess. But I like, like Radiohead, U2, and Wilco. Well, I guess they're sort of alt country. They used to be, but they're just like regular old rock and roll now, I guess. But I don't know. Those are some of my influences. But definitely like Neil Young, Bruce Springsteen, and guys like that. Jeff Buckley, even though he's not an influence as much as just amazing. Because obviously, I can't play or sing as well as him. Not that I can play and sing as well as anyone else that I mentioned, but.
Won't melt away like a sugar cube. I won't burn away like a matchstick tube. Won't drive away, run away with you. Spend another day like we used to do. Yeah, Bobby, won't you drive me home? Come by, won't you drive me home, home? Yeah, if I come running back, yeah, should I go out to sea? Yeah, well, darling, turn your back. Yeah, on my guillotine. Yeah, nobody needs me. You don't need me. Nobody needs me. Nobody needs me.
I think my songs are personal. I usually don't like I think Bob Dylan, I don't know if he said this, but I heard that he said this, that he doesn't explain like any of his lyrics or any of his songs, like because you could ruin it for someone who thinks it's about one thing or thinks it's about something else. And I always thought that was a cool way to do it. But I mean, I guess I'd say most of them are personal, but sometimes it's fun to just write like a story with a character and stuff. So it's pretty 50-50. But
Stepped out of the picture, baby, on the verge of breaking down. So I moved out of the city, baby, I said, oh, it's time.
So it's November 3rd, the day after Election Day, and I'm playing at Capo's in Lowell. And actually, this is one of the first places I've played like a lot, you know, outside of like colleges and stuff, college and stuff. And I just got some bad news tonight that I don't even want to say it with the guy in the background because it's such a secret. But they're having some financial trouble and they might be closing for a little while or maybe permanently. So it's kind of sad. So it could be the last time I play here, at least with it as Capos. See what happens. I have 2 new songs that I haven't played much. Just played them once and recorded them last week. So it'll be interesting to see how they go over and if I can play them live. And I know I can play them, but you know, so it's a little not nerve-wracking, but it's a little exciting, I guess, to see what happens. So we'll see. The other night when I played, we got the bad news that Capos was closing. They reopened, so. But that night I got the bad news that they were closing. You know, we didn't know for how long. It turned out to be just for 2 weeks. But that night I played 2 new songs, and they went over like Led Zeppelin's, as Keith Moon would say. But they didn't seem to go over that well with the crowd. I don't know. I mean, who can tell with these people? But whatever. It was cool to play the new songs, and I don't really care. You know, like what the reaction was. Yeah, I would have no problem playing every night. I know, like before, I mean, it's not even a question of having enough material because I have more than enough, actually. And so, just the simple answer is yeah. And as far as you know, I have enough songs at this point where I can change it up. And if I got bored, I would always throw in cover songs and just have fun. So yeah, it wouldn't be a problem at all. How many albums can I have with all the recorded material I have? I mean, I don't know. Some albums are only 10 songs and some are up to 15. So say the average is 10 to 15 songs an album. I think I have enough material to have a solid probably 4 albums. Well, to have 4 albums, I don't know how solid they would be, but you know, and always out of that, like whenever I'd be recording, if I went and recorded, you know, 4 albums right now, I'd probably get another 4 albums just from recording, because when you think of new songs while you're playing and stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know how good they go over, but I'd have enough material to fill 4 albums at least, I'd say. I made my first recording, I think, when I was 18, right around that. Right, it was right like a couple of weeks after I started taking guitar lessons. I took guitar lessons for 6 months in the summer when I was 18, and maybe a week or 2 after learning my first 2 or 3 chords, I started recording songs. But I wasn't good enough to change chords yet, so I would strum one chord and then stop the tape recorder, rearrange my fingers into the next chord, then start the tape recorder again. So between chord changes, there were obvious like breaks that were ridiculous. But I don't know. I guess I just was so anxious to make songs that I like, even as bad as they, you know, my playing was. I was still trying to do something. So and then I would take that recording of the broken chord changes and try to sing over that and record that with another tape recorder. So I didn't have like a 4-track or anything yet. I just had like 2 tape recorders. So I would do it that way, and it was ridiculous. It sucked. I think it's like artistically equally difficult for a struggling musician or a struggling filmmaker to get a start. But I think musicians have an advantage just financially, because it takes a lot less to get started. Although, you know, with the digital cameras now and stuff, that's cut down a little bit. But still, I think 2 artists starting off, you know, starting line, if one was a musician and one was a filmmaker, I think it's a lot harder probably to make, you know, make some kind of a ripple in the pond if you're a filmmaker. I would think, I don't know much about that business, but I would just, it seems reasonable that it's really, really hard. I mean, plus, you know, I think there's a more, it just, financially, that right alone, I mean, you can get a cheap guitar, you know, for what, $50, whereas a cheap, decent digital video camera is probably $400 or $500. So just based on that alone, I mean, music is a better place to, I mean, maybe easier place for that type of an artist to start. Some filmmakers have a shitty road to hoe. There is, though, a lot of equipment that, you know, besides, I mean, to get started, if you just have a guitar and go to open mics, you get started that way. But if you want to make any recordings and stuff, I have a couple of guitars, an acoustic guitar, an electric guitar, a decent amp, and a decent 8-track recorder. So financially speaking, if you tallied all those up, you're probably talking, I don't know, around $2,000. But that's not necessary. You know, that's what's the benefit of having a band too, where there's not like a band of filmmakers where everyone like, hey, I brought the lights and I brought, like, you know, the writer or whatever. The band, that's the cool thing about having a band. You might know someone with a drum set and know someone else with a bass and an amp, and that's cool because then all you need is to show up with your guitar. So everyone is kind of communal that way. What else interests me? Oprah Winfrey, The Oprah Show, The O, her magazine, and oral sex. Yeah, that's it. Those are mine. Anything begins with O.
Stay, baby, please. Don't go.
That's all I got.